today I think I'm going to start talking about my pots. First, we've gotten some rain over the weekend, so everything's kind of grown significantly. My marigolds seem to be taking over everything. In fact, they are currently crowding out my petunias, which are starting buds right here in this pot, but the marigolds are just shooting through and taking over everything. So I don't know if I'm going to have to repot or not. Maybe my pots aren't big enough. Maybe I'm over fertilizing. I'm not 100% sure, but they look really, really good and really, really full right now. I'm not so certain I'm going to be able to sustain them looking this way for the rest of the summer. We're only in, the second week in June, and my pots are already practically overflowing. Trapped down in here is a snapdragon that just isn't getting enough light. I don't know if this one over here is even going to send out flowers because it's just getting crowded out by the petunias and by this gigantic. In other news, super excited to show off my forget-me-nots. I know I said they probably weren't everybody's favorite dream, but here is what they're looking like. They kind of grow and remind me of cauliflower. Like, they send out these big leaves, but as they're sending out those big leaves, they also develop this massive stalk. So these used to be low-lying plants, but then in their second phase, right before they flower, they send up this big long shoot. The top kind of looks like cauliflower, but then it shoots out blue flowers everywhere. So pretty soon I think these are gonna go. This one's in the way, but down here there's a flower stalk just starting, and the flower heads are starting. Same one thing right there. Some flower heads are starting on my forget-me-nots. So there you go. They kind of look like cauliflower. I thought it was going to be like maybe 4 weeks, but a couple of days ago they started sending off their stalks, which means probably in about 2 to 3 weeks. Here's the dahlia pot. I haven't done anything with it. I think this is what a seed head looks like when it gets started, but I'm not really sure. That was a flower, and then it's kind of turned into that. Let's walk along the zinnia patch. I'm considering, because I'm so sick of watering these 26 zinnia every night, I feel like I'm going to run my well dry. I think I'm just going to hook up an auto hose and poke holes in this old hose of mine and just bury it under my mulch and let it just self-water. Anyways, gardener's problems. Here, we got lots of blooms. Let's go over these flowers. From the top, zinnia blooms, pink. I've got like a straw yellow. I'm so excited about this one. I think it's gorgeous. I can't tell on this one if it's going to be like a pink or a red. But right next to it, there's a red that just started opening up this morning. We've got pink. This one will be pink. Here's one of the one the rabbits got. Up. But then right in there, you can see it sending off little side shoots. So that's going to be a brand new flower head coming in. It's also this one, I have no idea what this one's going to be. She's a taller plant, but she's tight as a button. I can't see anything. Red. Another one that's recovering from being nipped by something, but then there its side shoots coming in right there. Pink. There's a really, really tall pink one. It's a double header, so I think it's kind of going to send out a second color right in the middle there. It's going to be dark pink on the outside, I think a lighter pink in the middle. And this one's just coming in, another pink. I just seem to have a ton of pink this year. This one I think is going to be red. A red flower. Just starting to open up a little bit. There's a red. And there's a white. And there's a pink. I don't think I've ever seen a blue zinnia. So we'll have to see. My red, white, and blue flowers I've got this year are white zinnia, red zinnia, and then my blue forget-me-nots over there for the 250th anniversary. But let's walk down the front walkway. Hostas. Oh, I don't know if I've ever shared this with you guys. So over here in my front area, you can see where the sun is and then where the shade is from our roof. But in here is a massive violet patch. So I've got my hostas back there and then my violets, which are really big, really big. So I leave those for the Regal Fertility butterfly. This is the beginning of the flowers in the front. There's a Cosmo. I just planted this today. This is a forget-me-not. She's about an inch tall. That's about it. It's really small. There is my zinnia. There's a forget-me-not. There's another forget-me-not. Super small, super small. Another forget-me-not there. Cosmo. I gotta be careful walking in here because I just planted 25 snapdragons. There is my zinnia. That one's looking really good. That one's gonna be a beautiful plant if it lives. And then in here is where my snapdragons start. So down here is my first snapdragon. And here are my zinnia. I've got a yellow zinnia blooming there next to a Cosmo, next to one that isn't planted, the hollyhocks. My snapdragons continue. There's another one right there. This is all going to look a lot better, I think, once I get it mulched, but for now, there is a gigantic zinnia, Cosmo. There's a pretty yellow zinnia. I've got more snapdragons up here. And more Cosmo. I've got a lilac Cosmo. I don't know if I've ever had this color before, but there's my lilac Cosmo, ironically enough, next to my lilac bush. Yeah. Here is a beautiful Cosmo. And then a salmon zinnia. What's going around in the back? I've lost almost all my sunflower to deer now. I lost 1, 2. This right here is one that got eaten last night. Here's another one. I lost another one. When they nip the top off like this, you can't let it grow because they only send off one flower. Sunflowers do. So that one ain't gonna be a good plant. Oh, are you kidding me? Great. There's another one. I lost another one. Disappointing. Oh, maybe not so disappointing. Look at that. I got a first sunflower. I mean, is the sunflower 1 foot tall? Yes, it's 1 foot tall. But it does have its first bloom. I tell you, gardening. You win some, you lose quite a bit. Over here, my sunflowers continue. I lost 2 over there. I lost 1 over here. But we'll keep going. My creeping phlox, I think, are done blooming for the year. My transplanted hostas are growing and looking really, really good. More blooms on my catmint. Looking real pretty and blooming. My catmint's blooming real nice. I'm surprised because it's the first year in. It's only been in for, I don't know, a couple of weeks. Creeping phlox has 1 or 2 little blooms left on it. I'm thinking though, under here in this dark section underneath, since it got planted, I'm thinking it's gonna give me a second flush of flowers because it's growing new stuff down there. I promised a walk through the orchard, so I think we're gonna do that now. See if I can find any fruit on my trees. This is an apple tree. We didn't get it sprayed this year. I was just so busy with my grow room and the garden plants. I haven't had a chance to see if I can find any fruit. And I don't know if anybody can see that, but there. It's an apple. First apple of the year. I thought maybe the frost got everything, but clearly it didn't because I had some fruit get started. Oh, here's more. There's a little apple right there. There's a baby apple right there. I'm going to check the pear tree, but I know since it lost its companion, it doesn't make fruit anymore. Unless there's a plant in the area that's fertilizing it. Let's see. Oh, we have success, kids. Somewhere there's a tree that's fertilizing it. Because, let's see if I can get it to focus. That right there is a baby pear. Baby pear. I'm really surprised because we lost its tree and didn't make any fruit last year. But something somewhere in this area, one of my neighbors probably has a pear tree. I can't be the only one in the country with a pear tree. Good news, good news. So come over to this tree. Something got eaten right there. I'm not finding much right now on this tree. A lot of caterpillars. Ooh, I'm gonna get my head out from underneath there. There's definitely caterpillars living on this tree. My fault since we didn't spray. Yeah, if you want to see some caterpillar damage, there's some leaves just eaten. Just eaten. But I don't really believe in spraying. This big open patch right here used to be my 2 cherry trees. Now I have 2 cherry trees up front, but I don't know. I don't know if we should have put the cherry trees back here in the orchard. I don't know. We didn't want little plants to get crowded up by these 30-year-old trees, so we didn't. Here are my 2 apple trees. Let's see if I can find any baby apples. Somewhere there are baby apples, I think. What then about the plum tree? She was the first to bloom, and she has the best looking fruit right now. There's a baby plum. There's a baby plum. Cool. I like the plums on my tree, so I don't think it's too late for me to spray my plum tree. I do probably have to top her or stake her if I want her to continue growing. Probably cut it here this way, make her a little bushier, but gosh, I absolutely hate mutilating my beautiful trees that produce fruit. Just like I hate spraying pesticides. Gonna walk over to the veggie garden. I think I'm gonna be done for the day because I don't have much to show you besides the potatoes. Milkweed. I just planted this one, so she's gonna get maybe fried a little bit today, but milkweed. Tomato plants. And my pepper plants, which are getting in their first flower buds. So soon, but another 2 months for peppers. God, peppers take so long. Why do peppers gotta take like 6 months to give you one piece of vegetable? Time to look at the potato buckets. These are just potatoes that had started to grow that we threw in the bucket. And since potatoes like to be mounded, we only filled the bucket about halfway full of soil. That way, as the potato sprouts come out, we have the ability to add more soil in to make it similar to mounding them. That way we have the chance of potatoes filling this lower part of the bucket, and as we mound, they'll also make potato in the top part of the bucket. But yeah, 7 of them. That one's got some sprouts coming out. This one as well. Here's some little potato sprout. Same thing with this bucket. We only filled it up a little over halfway, so that way we can continue adding soil and mounding up on these little shoots. Here's another potato sprout on this bucket. I don't see anything coming out of this bucket or this bucket, but this bucket does have potato shoots. Right there, right there, right there, right there, right there. Now, what's some stuff I got going on my porch? My hyacinths are done blooming for the year. So I cut off the dead leaves and I've got them in a pot photosynthesizing. Hopefully I'll get some extra bulbs this year. Since all my sunflowers are being eaten, I think I'm going to replace them with these Asiatic lilies. I wanted something that was toxic. Something that the deer weren't going to eat for my bare spots. So I've got 1, 2, 3 Asiatic lily plants that are going to go up front. Here are my cucumber seedlings that I started. They're going to go into the garden. I just haven't gotten to where I'm going to put them yet. Black-eyed Susans, also known as Rudbeckia. There they are, all my little Rudbeckia seedlings. Splitting them will give me a hot July activity to do on the porch in a chair in the shade. Here are I think these are my pickling cucumbers. Okay, so these are cucumber plants, but they're my pickling cucumber plants. So these I will snip as baby cucumbers, and also the mature ones will be turned into pickle spears. We like pickles in my house and cucumbers, so I grew these from seed. Here is another hyacinth plant. Can't remember if this is the one I got on clearance. Anyways, I like to buy bulbs after season and get them on sale. Oh, nope, here you go. Hyacinth, see? On sale. I get them, I keep them, I let them keep their foliage till the foliage dies back, then I trim it back, like I trimmed back that one. I keep them watered, and the next year, hopefully I have twice as many bulbs in the pot. I think this is a hyacinth. Or no, you're a tulip. This is a tulip bulb pack that I got this year that I keep it watered, and it just sits on my porch. I should have twice as many bulbs in there next year for planting out in the yard. I like to save wild violets for the regal fritillary butterfly, which is endangered in my state. So this one I thought was real pretty and nice. And I dug it up and stuck it in a pot. Here, this is interesting. Before we rototilled my garden, I found a wild goldenrod plant growing naturally in my yard. So she's a wild pollinator, a native pollinator plant for Wisconsin. So I dug her up and stuck her in a pot, and I keep her watered on my porch. And when I figure out what I want to do with her, I'll put her somewhere. Till then, she's just going to live here happy. She's got a little wild violet friend down there that came in the soil when I dug her up. This side, you can see my wild violets are very hardy. This one's been chopped. I think this one got rototilled. It still is growing and sending out shoots. So that's good for the butterflies. You know, I love me some butterflies. just to show you that I'm actually not that good of a gardener. I do stuff just like everything else. This was supposed to be a bed full of parsley. Nothing grew. Not a single thing sprouted. This one is supposed to be cilantro. Same thing. The only thing that grew was some weeds. This is not cilantro. This is not cilantro. Neither is this. It's a cute little flower though. Here are my liatris. I gotta figure out a place to put them out front. I also gotta remember what they look like so I don't rototill them up next year. I don't know if I've ever showed the strawberry patch before. But yes, here's my strawberry patch. And in fact, here is a strawberry. I think this patch is about maybe 3 years old, so. Oh, the delights of being a gardener. I get to do something like this. Delicious. Greens and all. Right in my mouth. Didn't even check it for bugs because, well, it's extra protein if there's something on there. Back here, the only real new thing I did, I planted sugar snap peas into the ground. They need to get some supports in. Eventually, I think this is going to be my fence where I'm going to put in for my cucumbers. Oh, beautiful. Absolutely lovely. Something came in and snipped off my plant. But it did not snip off the last sets of leaves. So we're going to leave this girl in the ground and she'll regrow new shoots. If I can get fencing up before the deer eat half my plot. But yes, I'm real surprised the deer haven't been after my corn. Look at my corn. My corn is getting big. She's getting big. She's gonna be knee-high by the 4th of July. She's getting beautiful, wrinkly leaves, meaning she's growing good. It's nice color. Roma tomato plants, I have not seen any shoots yet. I keep thinking I'm gonna see one, but nothing yet. They're still growing good. I wonder if something isn't coming in here and nibbling on roots, and that's why I'm not seeing quite as much growth as I'd like to see. Oh well, my mole contraption probably isn't working the way it should, but at least I'm seeing pepper buds. So eventually there'll be peppers. Blueberry check, and then I think I've shown you everything again. Look at this. Blueberries. Blueberries forming. Blueberries forming. That's cool. This one got eaten so badly by rabbits and then burnt absolutely terribly. But it's growing. It's alive. Sending out all new shoots, but it's alive. That's good. And this one you can see a lot more clearly my fruit growing. You can see the little, oh, you can see an ant on there even. You can see my little blueberries forming. Same thing there. You can see blueberries. Blueberries. All the purple. That'll eventually be my blueberries. Over here, these haven't turned purple yet. You can see the little blueberries starting. These are more blue than purple. I'll have to look up what that means. Very overgrown. Oh, my poor beard. I did them this year. I didn't get any weeding. Look at all the grass in here. So planting out flowers. I didn't get a chance to do hardly anything with them. But yes, we'll see. We'll see whether or not my pots, if I decide I'm going to do a little bit of repotting, maybe these 4 pots should be split up into 6 pots. And I think my blue forget-me-nots would look really, really nice on the top step instead of my bottom step. Oh, not sure if I ever showed off this contraption. This right here. She's my whole auger. She's my drill auger. I got a guide. Use Milwaukee drill. Let me show it to you. And just put her in the ground. Usually I have 2 hands on it, but and there's a perfect hole. And then when you want to plant whatever you plant, you just go whoop, 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 whoop. And you put the dirt right back in the hole. If anybody who loves to garden like I do, and you have 200 or 300 plants you got to plant every year, a drill auger. This thing is my lifesaver. I wouldn't have all these crazy plants, 20, 30, sometimes even more, and be able to manage get without this thing. Anyways, that's all I got. I'll get back in the house because it's getting hot out here. Thank you so much for joining me. Get to see my sweaty face. Today I'm in long sleeves. I'm in double layered pants. I've got shorts over my leggings so no ticks get on me. I've got my leggings tucked into my and just some old shoes on. I appreciate anybody who's been here. I hope that everyone has a good day. It's not too late to go to a garden center. Get yourself some pots, get yourself some soil, get yourself some flowers. I tell you, she's a good way to relieve stress and make yourself happy. Have a good day, everybody. Thanks for stopping in.